the Kickback on Sam Peligro show. I am your host, Sam Peligro. We are coming to you live from Cider Sessions studios in Sacramento, California, right above Two River Ciders. This show is going to be going on bi-weekly, twice a month, however you want to word it, around this time. And also, really quick before we proceed, we apologize for the slight 2-3 minute delay. Slight difficulties that we were going through, but hey, man, this is my first show. Things like that are going to happen. So, and once again, thank you very much for tuning in and kicking back with us. This is the debut, the first at bat, the rookie season of this particular thing that I put together with my production team. So, tonight's guest is my longtime homie from the Wood town. It is a hood town now, by the way. Chris Jones. Looking forward to having him on, and really going to have a good time tonight. So, as some of you may know or may not know, I have a band called Cider Peligro that's been around for 16 years, and I'm also in a band called Peligro Brass that was recently started just this past summer or fall. And lately, we've been putting together some cover tunes, brass-wise, and also putting together music videos. This past Sunday, I got together with some friends of mine, Cruz Naranjo, Carlos Mora, and somebody that I met as well that day, Katie Valenzuela. And I was recording some, what we like to call B-roll shots, some cameo shots of them. And the place that I wanted to do it at was at the waterfront in Old Sacramento. Now, if some of you have been to Old Sacramento within the past, 3-4 months or so, if you've noticed this colorful art piece thing, as you can see on the screen right now, there's a story behind that. And I want to let you guys know the story behind that. This particular art piece is dedicated to two ladies. And obviously with yesterday and this month being recognizing, International Women's Month, and yesterday being International Women's Day, this particular monument, well, this one here that we just saw recognizes somebody by the name of Isabel Naranjo. Now, back in the day, she would deliver supplies, food, clothing to migrant farm workers and families. And she was a farm worker herself, and she also established child care centers and secure funding for meals, recreation, and education. And that's pretty cool, man. Because obviously everybody knows California is all based off of agriculture and farm workers. And that is the mother of my friend, Cruz Naranjo. So that is the arch that we just seen right now. There's one also across the river in the West Sacramento area. As you can barely see it. It's at the bottom. It's right there below the pyramid across the river. And that one is dedicated to, and I apologize if I'm going to mispronounce or not say the name right, Etanesh Zaleki. And which I guess her first name translates to "You are my sister." She was an immigrant from Ethiopia, and she was also very influential in getting things going in the community there in West Sacramento. So that's kind of cool. With yesterday being International Women's Day, that I wanted to recognize what these art pieces are all about, because I'm sure people have walked by and wondered, what's this for? And stuff. And those particular pieces are done in the maritime way of some sort. Maritime has to do with the sea and so forth. So yeah, man, that was really kind of cool that was done and stuff. And there was like over 650 nominees or names that were up to have that commemorative done for them. And so yeah, man, that was pretty cool. And I was really honored to have Cruz be a part of that. That's going to be in the video that's coming up here within the next couple of months. So yeah. So before I go any further, I also want to introduce my producer. His name is Rob. Say what's up, Rob.
What's happening, everybody?
Good to be here. All right, man. Heck yeah.
How we doing, Sam?
I'm doing good. Man. We're doing it.
We're doing it, man. We're doing it. Getting the kinks out. Doing it. Thanks for your patience, everybody.
Yes, I appreciate everybody's patience on that and so forth. So,
how about Cy the guy? We're going to bring him in. He doesn't want to come in, but we're bringing him in.
Yeah, you know what? I mean, the other two guys, I guess, I'm going to go ahead and introduce them to you anyway. Jared Collins is a part of the production team. Let's say what's up, Jared.
What's up, guys? How we doing? How we doing?
Yeah, exactly, man. And then also the fourth member of the production team, Marco Guerrero, who is not going to zoom in with us right now. But all right. So, without any further delay, coming up right now, and like I explained before, my longtime homie from Woodland, California, Chris Jones. What's going on, Chris?
What's up, Sam? How you doing, man?
Doing good, man. I'm glad that that you're here to join me and stuff, man. It's been a long time coming, hasn't it, though?
Yes, sir, man. I just want to thank you, man. This is an honor, man, to be one of the first guests on your show, man.
No, not one of. You're the first guest, man. We're doing this, man, because like I said before, you and I have always talked about doing things, project-wise and such over the years. So speaking of over the years, and of course the hometown, man. Let's let everybody know a little bit about yourself. How you started out, with your music and explain the upbringing.
As far as my music is concerned, it started when I was about 13, 14 years old. I had a best friend named Jesse Gonzalez. And at first, we would have freestyle battles. Yeah. And, he would get me, I would get him. And a couple of years after that, we started to realize, hey, we're pretty good at this. And we had a DJ, you might know him, Sam, by the name of Mike Reyes.
Oh, yeah.
DJ Mike Reyes.
Definitely. Oh, yeah.
And so Jesse ended up going to Mike Reyes' house first and recording a tape.
Right.
Once we heard that tape, I think at that point he realized, hey, I'm pretty good. And so did I. And then we began recording at Mike's house. And then from there, man, we just took off and started recording music.
Yeah, exactly. And I do recall those days, man, because, we were all trying to do something. We were always listening to, rap acts from, New York or Los Angeles or even the Bay Area. But there we were in Woodland trying to do something. And it was kind of cool that DJs like Mike and, Joe Pisano, Nick Azevedo, all those kind of cats, they always had instrumentals and a microphone, man. So that was kind of cool, man. Definitely, man. And I do remember you guys putting something together like that. That was kind of cool. Yeah, man. Okay, so then now, after all of that, though, now you obviously, after people graduate from high school, everybody, parts ways and stuff. People do their thing. So how did you keep your hunger going? How did you maintain that passion just to keep striving for it?
You know what? Through all these years, Sam, I always felt that I was behind. Even till this day, right now, this moment, there's a lot to fill in between then and now. And I know we don't have a whole lot of time on the show to talk about everything, but if I could just say a few things about how I keep my hunger, I think I can put a lot in perspective. I keep my hunger because, like I said, I always feel like I'm behind. In my late teens, I kept doing music in my late teens. In my early 20s, I was young. I liked to party a lot, and
we all did, man.
Yeah, I like to party a lot, and I think I did it excessively to the point to where it diluted my perception. As far as it stopped me and hindered me from obtaining a lot of my goals. Right. I'm going to get to the point here in a minute about that. In my 20s, I partied a lot. I partied a lot, and you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and say this because if I can help somebody in the future, not make the same mistakes that I have. If they have a goal or a dream of being a music artist, I like to share that. And I made some bad choices when I was younger, and it ultimately affected me. Um, and I ended up making some bad choices, and I became incarcerated.
Okay.
Um, Once the incarceration was over, I had two choices. I could come out and make something of myself, or I could go back to the same old lifestyle that I had. And I chose the first one. I chose to come out and make something of myself, And after I was released, I still had that. Well, the first thing I did once while incarcerated was, I'm not going to be successful. I'm not going to be a music artist. I'm not going to be able to do anything unless I make a plan.
Right.
And so I wrote a plan, and after that, I executed that plan. But when I got out, I still felt like I was so far behind, like people like you, whom I respect. You know what I mean? Guys that we grew up with, all my friends. They're driving nice cars. They got houses. They moved on with their life, and so I never stopped having that mentality that I'm far behind, and I still have a lot of work to do, and I still have that in my mind today.
Mm-hmm.
And I think from that, that's one of the reasons, that's one of the things that keeps me hungry, as far as my music goes and just other aspects of life.
It just keeps you motivated. Yeah, it keeps you
Correct.
wanting to strive to just keep going that extra step. Yeah, definitely, man. No, I totally understand that completely, man. And and I appreciate you, um, informing not just me, but everybody viewing and listening right now about that. And I know that takes a lot sometimes for somebody to talk about things of that stuff,
Mhm.
and that's really really honorable of you, man. I respect it, and I appreciate that as well.
Mhm.
So, with that being said, with your hunger and with your motivation, talk about how you applied that to owning your own business. How did you come up with all of that, man?
You know, again,
And then also talk about and then say your business name and so forth. And
right. Chris Moves. I own a moving company by the name of Chris Moves Moving Company, and I've been providing moving labor for about 10 years now. And how I became a mover was, once I decided to put all the trash behind me and actually live life. Um, I was doing a construction job, but on the weekends, I was working with the moving company, and ultimately, the construction company laid me off. And by then, I had known enough about moving to where I thought I had a shot at starting my own company.
right,
And it was wintertime. The moving company I was working for told me, you know what, Chris, it's slow. We're out of work. You don't depend on us for any work. And at that point, I said, you know what, I have nothing to lose right now. So I put together another plan, and I put together a marketing plan for about 2 months.
hmm
And for that 2 months, I just vigorously signed up for every free thing that I could on the internet.
right,
Within an 80-mile radius, I walked into every storage unit that I could find and introduced myself, handed my business cards, told them who I was. And on the very third month, I think I made, on the third month after deciding to start my own company, I made so much money. And after that point, I never had to look back. And it's been, 8 years now.
wow, that is awesome, man. I mean, just to know that you applied, not only just your perseverance, and then how you just said, "Hey, I'm doing it," because not a lot of people can do that. I mean, there's a lot of people that sure dream of it, think of it, talk about it though, but there's not a lot of people can actually just say, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do this, and that's dope, man. That I mean, that's an actual thing that you're doing now, and then for a long time already. You know, because I'm going to be honest with you, man. I might have to call you the next time I move because I can't move for nothing. I'm one of those guys that'll get that big truck and just throw everything in and okay, we're ready to rock. I might do 8, 9 trips for like 4 things, you know? So that's cool, man, that you actually are still doing it and are still doing it well, you know? And everybody, if you guys can see down at the bottom, you can see the links there. If anybody's ever going to move in the future, there's his website down there at the bottom and so forth. And that's awesome, man. So also let's talk about, you do some sports talk as well. So let's touch on that here really quick.
It just became a hobby. It became a hobby, and it was as serious as I took it. And I didn't know how many opportunities I had when I first started, to be honest. And as far as getting to where I got, I can't say I would have achieved any of this without God, man. He opened some doors for me, man. And that's the honest truth, man. I ended up calling UC Davis once I figured out. Let me back up for a minute. I think my love for sports came because when I was younger, I partied a lot and I was actually good at sports. And so because I wanted to party more than actually be an athlete, it affected me. And now that my mind is clear, I think sports commentating is just, it's something that I want to do, to fulfill what I didn't do in the past. So, anyways, I started watching a lot of sports commentators on TV, and I decided to give it a try. I called one of the local universities, UC Davis. And I ended up figuring out how I could, become a media person and get credentials and stuff like that. And UC Davis, man, the communications guy there opened the door for me and let me come in. And so I,
you did some interviews with some players there, right? I believe it was it the basketball team or the football team, right?
Correct. I did both, actually. I did players with the basketball team and the football team, and I've done interviewed a player from Cal and players from Stanford.
Gotcha. Okay.
So that I got into that. Unfortunately, I have my moving company, and I'm not able to do it 100% like I would. But I still I'm still going to stay involved in it because I enjoy doing it.
Now, are you gonna? Did you do a podcast? You plan on doing a podcast with that maybe when time allows, or is that something that that's still kind of like you're in the works, so to speak?
I am going to do a podcast. Ultimately, that's my goal. I'm going to do a podcast. Actually, I started one already, but again, my moving company, that's my bread and meat. So I put a lot of effort and time into that, and hopefully, one day if I become a millionaire, I can kick back and do a little bit more podcasts and some interviews.
No, man, that's all good, man. Because somebody once told me, if you don't dream, then how are you going to make the dream come true? So that's really cool, man. So is there any other ventures you want to talk about briefly that you got coming up, or things that are coming?
I do. I want to touch on something that I've been working on for like 3 years now, and I created a lottery game, and it was a 3-year process creating this lottery game. And I had to, it was time consuming. It was extensive. It was a lot of work put into it. I had to hire somebody on the East Coast, execute the patent for me.
Right.
And so basically how it happened was I bought a bunch of scratchers. I ended up losing, and I thought to myself, what can I do? How can I, better the odds for consumers to have a better chance at winning? Just recently we just had I think Mega Millions and Powerball. Both of them were almost up to $1 billion. And I think one person in Michigan won the Mega Millions. But the game that I created, it has a different prize distribution way. Instead of having just one person win, for instance, the game that I created would have people from every county win. In order to do something like that, Sam, it's actually a process. State lottery systems have they get their games contracted to gaming companies like Scientific Games, IGT. You guys probably haven't heard of them if you're not, if you're not involved in that kind of stuff.
Right, exactly.
But a guy like me, I have to get signed up to a gaming company to introduce that to the state lotteries, and so that's what I'm hoping. I just want to. I created the game because I wanted people like me and you and students and families, entrepreneurs, a family that they just need help with the first time, loan on buying their first house or whatever, because they put so much into the lottery. I just thought, what kind of game could be created to give a little bit back more to them? And so I'm going to keep grinding and
No, you got something good going on right there, man. I hope that that pans out for you, man, for sure. All right, Chris. So yeah, it looks like our time is up, man. And once again, I appreciate you for being my first guest. And I've known you for years, but with this discussion, everybody that's viewing and listening right now, they got to know you as well, man. And that's awesome, man. So I appreciate you, appreciate your time, and hopefully we can do this again real soon, man. And so once again, everybody, this is Chris Jones, chrismoves.com, right? And if you ever need some sort of moving done, reach out to him, man. All right, Chris, man, be safe, my man, and I'll talk to you soon.
One more thing, Sam, before we go.
Yeah, go ahead.
I got something special in the works for you guys, man.
Okay.
As you know, I just did a song with Mac Mall from the Bay Area. He's from our generation, was well known.
Right.
Me and Be Legit, we working on something special, man, and I can't wait to show it.
Oh man, why didn't you say something like that earlier? Right on, man. So Chris Jones and Be Legit, everybody. Be on the lookout for that, man. All right, much love to you, Chris, man. I'll holler at you soon, my man.
Thanks,
Be
Sam.
cool. Be safe out there, man. Right on. That was cool, man. It was really cool. All right, everybody. Once again, that was my buddy Chris Jones from the hometown Woodland.
Listen to a little Chris Jones right
that's
there.
Chris Jones playing right there, man. That was cool, man. I'm glad he was able to speak about his stuff, man, because not everybody that goes through some things like that are able to talk about it freely, and that was way cool.
Yeah, man.
So everybody, so we're winding down here to the last couple of minutes, and I appreciate everybody tuning in and kicking back with us. Once again, we are at the Cider Session Studios above Two River Cider Company. Two River Cider is a company here in Sacramento. Look them up, and you can see that right there, the Two River Cider Company. And check them out, man. Vince is a cool guy. The ciders are pretty good, and so forth. So those viewing on the YouTube channel, for the Cider Session YouTube channel, I want you guys to go to that spot where it says subscribe. All the future kickback shows. You'll be able to see Chris's show as well hopefully here in the next few minutes. And coming up, we have a Cider Session vid,
Boot Juice
by Boot Juice. And speak a little about Boot Juice there, Rob.
Yeah, Boot Juice is from, where Boot Juice from? I thought they're from Davis, but they're living up in Auburn right now.
Oh, okay.
A bunch of raft guides up there. Really great music.
Right on.
Rafting music.
I like that. Okay.
Yeah, really, really great folks. And you guys will love it. It's really good stuff. So we got that at 7:30. So in 1 minute, they got a video that premieres.
All right, everybody. So before
we
go, like I said, this is a twice a month show. My next show is March 23rd. My guest is going to be David Fernandez Jr. He's a writer, actor, director, and he's had roles on Fear the Walking Dead, End of Watch, and most recently, he can be seen on the Selena Netflix show. He plays Selena's bodyguard in there. So check that out, and I'm looking forward to that. Everybody, thanks again for kicking back with me. Be safe. Be dry out there in Northern California. Have a good one. Bye.
Now he's out for a night on the town. There's city lights, bar fights, and pretty gals around. what you gonna do? Hey, come on.